Hey everyone and welcome back. In our last video, you wrote your first serverless Hello World function with AWS Lambda. But the real power of serverless computing comes from automation, making your code run automatically when something happens. Today, we are going to bridge the gap between theory and practice by showing you how to trigger a Lambda function every time a file is uploaded to an S3 bucket. This is a foundational skill for building powerful, event-driven applications, and it's a huge step forward in your cloud journey. Just to quickly recap, in our last session, we saw how easy it is to write and test code with Lambda without worrying about servers. But that function was just sitting there waiting for us to click the test button. Our goal today is to make that function useful. We are going to use Amazon S3, a service that you already know and love, as a trigger to automate our code. This is a crucial concept for building modern, scalable applications. So, what's the big picture here? We are moving from a manual click to run model to an event driven one. An event is a simple change in the state, like a file appearing in a S3 bucket. A trigger is the instruction that connects that event to your code. And that function is that code that performs a specific action. Most powerful part is this all happens automatically. It's like having an army of automated assistants working for you behind the scenes. So why is this paradigm so popular? It's all about the benefits. First, it's decoupled. Your services don't need to be tightly integrated, which makes your systems more flexible. It's also incredibly scalable. Whether you have one person uploading a file or 1,000 people uploading a file at the same time, the system automatically scales to handle it. It's also very resilient, meaning if your code fails, it won't take down the entire system. And of course, the best part for us is that it's extremely cost effective because you are only billed for the tiny amount of your time your code is actually running in the backend. Let's get specific. When you upload a file to S3, the S3 sends a message to a Lambda function. This message is not just a simple ping, it's a rich JSON object or a payload that contains all the details of the event. It tells our functions which bucket the file was uploaded to, the name of the file, and even its size. This is how our code knows exactly what to act on. It's the difference between hearing a chime and hearing the chime with a voice message that says the person at the front door is holding a pizza. Alright, let's stop talking about it and start building it. I'm back in the AWS Management Console. It's a simple three-step process. First, I will quickly modify our hello world function from the last video to print the entire event object. Then I will show you the simplest way to connect S3 and Lambda. We will add a trigger right from our Lambda functions dashboard and configure it to S3 and select our bucket. Then the moment of truth. I will upload a file to S3 bucket. After the upload, we will check the CloudWatch logs to see that our function was executed and the process the event data perfectly. Alright, let's get our hands dirty and build this connection. We are logged into the AWS Management Console and I have navigated back to my first Lambda functions that we created in the last video. The first thing we need to do is modify our functions code to show us what's happening. Right now it just says hello world, hello from Lambda. Let's change that. I'm going to scroll down to the code editor and add the key to making our function useful is this event parameter right here. This event parameter is an automatic input from AWS. It's a powerful object that contains all the data about the specific trigger that just occurred. When S3 triggers our function, all the information about the upload will be sent to us inside this event object. So I'm going to modify our code to print that entire event. This will let us see exactly what information we are getting. So I will just modify the code to print the event object. Once you have made that change, it's absolutely crucial to click that blue deploy button so that our code gets saved and it makes it ready to go. If you forget this step, your old code will run instead. It will not be saved. Now for the fun part, adding the trigger. If you look at the top of the dashboard, you will see a section that says Function Overview. On the left side, there is a big blue button, Add Trigger. I will click on that now. This is where we tell our function what to listen for. In the Selector dropdown, select a source dropdown. I will select S3 and click on S3. Now we need to configure our S3 trigger. In the bucket field, I will choose the S3 bucket I want to monitor. I've already created a S3 bucket for this demo, which I'll select from the drop down. Under the event types, you can see a lot of options. We could trigger the functions when an object is deleted, when an object's metadata is changed, and more. For our demo, we want to trigger the function every time a new object is uploaded. So I'll choose all object create events. That is already there. Finally, I have to check the box that acknowledge that I understood this trigger will now be active. I will click the add button to finish the settings. Perfect. The trigger has been added successfully. Our function is now connected to S3 bucket. We have officially set up an event-driven system without even writing a single line of code for the connection itself. Now let's put it to the test. I'm now in my S3 bucket. As you can see, it's empty. I'm going to click upload and select a simple sample file from my computer, and then I will click upload again. I have uploaded a sample.txt, clicking the upload button. The file is in our bucket now. Let's go back to the bucket. This action just sent a message or an event to a Lambda function. Now we need to prove it ran. To see if our function was executed, we'll go to the monitor tab of the Lambda function. I'll scroll down and click on View Logs in the CloudWatch. This will open a new tab in our log stream. So the log groups is loading, and you can see there are a couple of log streams that are there. Look at this. You can see that a new log stream has been created. If I click on it, I can see the log of functions execution. And here it is. You can see the print event. That is the raw records. This is basically the print event command that we added to our code. And below it is the entire JSON object that S3 sent to our function. It tells us the name of the bucket, the name of the file we uploaded, the time, and a ton of other useful informations. This is the proof. Our serverless code was executed automatically based on an event in S3. This simple demo shows you the core power of an event-driven architecture and how easily you can automate tasks on AWS. So, what can you actually do with this? This is a core pattern used by massive companies. For example, a common use case is an image processing pipeline. A user uploads a high resolution image to an S3 bucket. That upload triggers a Lambda function. The function then automatically resizes that image, creates a thumbnail, and saves that thumbnail to a separate bucket, all in a matter of seconds. This happens automatically at a massive scale, and you only pay for the fraction of seconds your code runs. This is the true power of serverless automation. So there you have it. You have officially built your first automated event-driven application in the cloud. You have taken your Lambda function from a simple hello world to a powerful piece of automation. In our next video, we are going to take this a step further and explore API Gateway, Amazon API Gateway. This will allow us to trigger a Lambda function from a simple web request, which is critical building block for modern websites and mobile apps. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.